here we go. Here we go. I hope everyone had a decent weekend. We're here right now in my man cave doing our live show for Monday, March 30th. We're going to take Tuesday off because watchers are dwindling. So we'll break it up. We'll be back Wednesday after today, Wednesday with my oldest friend, Liam Carroll. We're going to talk about movies we loved when we were kids. We're going to talk about what he does. He's got this awesome old school movie blog, Analog Scum. He'll talk a little bit about that. And we'll just kind of riff and hear about what it's like in New York City with coronavirus, because Liam lives in Brooklyn. All right, so first thing we want to do, we like to start off with some uplifting news. So in some uplifting news today, I've got a few little stories for you. First one, they've developed and fast-tracked a coronavirus test that will tell you if you have it within, I think, 5 minutes. So it's an easy way to go to these government stations, take your test, and you'll find out if you have it or not, so you can quarantine yourself or get medicine or whatever you need. All right, one of the stories, though. Another story is that Amazon is open for business. I don't know if some of you were looking, because I know I was looking, and if I wanted something, it said it wouldn't get here until like April 21st, and I was like, that's crazy, but completely understandable. So what they're doing now is for certain items that they deem, I don't know, easily accessible in their warehouses that they know they can get to you in about 2 to 3 days, you have the ability to purchase those and get them delivered to your door. So if you weren't searching Amazon because you thought they were closed, go check Amazon out. You can probably get what you need now. Okay, so speaking of Amazon, Lauren and I were like, what can we do? We wanna like do some puzzles. What's in stock Amazon that we can get here in a couple of days? And they did not have any decent flat jigsaw puzzles. So what we ended up doing was we went with a 3D puzzle. They had like Big Ben, they had like crazy ones, but I actually went with a little revolver. Wrong screen. There you go. A little revolver. It was, it's just a little wooden cutout, and then you stack it all together, as you see, and it actually functions. Check this out. See that? Look at that. A little rubber band gun. It came with these little army men. Ugh, I can't even hit them. Well, no one said it was accurate, and no one said I was accurate. So, hey, you can find some fun time wasters like this on Amazon. There it is. Look it up. They make a shotgun too. I've already purchased that, and I'm going to be working on that sometime in the next couple days. So that's fun. And in some more uplifting news, the government, state and federal, I think, has lifted the ban on all businesses being closed. They've expanded what essential businesses are, and they've opened up real estate agents and real estate offices have limited access. What else was it? Which is good because people have to work, right? You can't keep people indoors all day, especially if they're willing to go outside, they're self-quarantining themselves, and, you know, people are going to go stir crazy. So they've got, essential, emergency health. Oh, and gun shops. So they're allowing gun shops to be open, which, you know, if you haven't shot a gun before, good time, go to a gun shop. Their air purification and ventilation is the best in the world in firing ranges because most bullets have lead in them. They splatter when they hit a target, and they don't want that lead to go into your system. So works the same way, diseases and viruses and bacteria. It filters the air constantly. So honestly, if you think about it, a pretty safe place to go is a firing range. So, hey, maybe get in some range time, have some fun, shooting off some bullets. A lot of places have firearms you can rent. You walk in, you rent the gun, you can have an instructor with you, and it's a lot of fun. I suggest it, but that doesn't mean anything because I don't think anyone takes me seriously at all. Okay, so do we have any comments coming in? Comments as of now. But if you're watching, I see there are 6 of you. Hey, ask a question. I'll answer it. Because, again, today we're just riffing. No guests today. It's just me. I'm going to talk a little bit about vinyl. And I'll talk a little bit about some other stuff. All right. I want to prep you for Friday's show. On Friday, we are talking about Tiger King. It is a show on Netflix. It just came out. It's #1. I think it's got 6 or 7 episodes. Please go watch it. I mean, there's profanity. There's some inappropriate situations. There's some inappropriate topics. There's smoking. That's a thing now. So Netflix warns you about smoking, like when it changes its ratings. Crazy time we're living in. I guess it's a good thing, though. Let me know what you think about that. Is smoking that dangerous that someone sees it makes kids want to do? Probably, right? Let's talk about it. Write a message. So, watch Tiger King. We're going to have Tommy Malatesta, Steve Betsy, and Matt Ham. As long as they still say that they want to be on the show, we're going to have a show. And we're going to talk about Tiger King and a story from the road about this gentleman named Tiger Shark. It's a pretty story. We get into a lot of crazy antics on set. And that's something we're going to talk about. All right, now I'm going to talk about some movies that I watched over the weekend. I decided to go into a way back when kick and watch some of the old films I used to love as a kid. And the first one I watched was First Night. It's a Richard Gere. Sean Connery got top billing despite being in the movie for like less than 20 minutes. But Sean Connery got top billing. He plays King Arthur. And Richard Gere plays Lancelot. I liked it as a kid. I remember watching it and seeing, like that gauntlet. Like this was before Ninja Warrior. They would do all this crazy. He would walk through that stuff. It was cool. It was a good movie for me. Kind of falls flat on a lot of the plot, but hey, for the action alone. And that movie taught me a pretty cool film-making tool, something that I always wanted to emulate but haven't yet. The bad guy in the movie, in one of the scenes, he's like eating a chicken with his hands and like a knife. He's cutting into it. He's like This was before Lord of the Rings: Return of the King did it with the Steward of Gondor eating like all this like gross, disgusting, mouth sounds like Matt Ham hates mouth sounds. And that watching it in First Night, I was like, oh my gosh, that is the perfect way to make you hate someone. For if you want to hate a character, have video of them eating with their hands. I was like, oh, Matt Ham's commenting. Should I take a job to shoot a doc at Walmart distribution center on Wednesday to Friday? Yeah. Hey, man, if you can get freelancer work right now and you want to shoot a doc, take it. Absolutely. And Walmart pays pretty well from what I hear. Yeah. Walmarts are open too, I think. So if you need something, I think you can always go to a Walmart. Kevin Mann, are you worried that the current coronavirus crisis shutting down society will delay the release? Oh, okay. It's my brother-in-law. Of 10-minute podcast. I don't worry about that, Kevin, and let me tell you why. I'm not worrying about it because those guys got nothing to do. They could do a 10-minute podcast from wherever they're at. So if they have the stamina, they could find a way to get together through Zoom or however they want and make themselves a pretty good 10-minute podcast. All right. Moving on. Jeremiah Rouse tells me that Caroline Baskin fed her husband to big cats. Now, we're going to get into this, Jer. Maybe you should be on the episode Friday night, too, because I want to talk about Carol Baskin. Maybe Carol Baskin started this whole COVID-19 thing. I have a feeling it was Carol Baskin who started COVID-19. So we're going to talk about this, that and many other things related to Tiger King. Because while watching it this weekend with Lauren, I wrote down all my notes. I was like, I have to research this. I have to find out about this. And we're going to bring it all on Friday. All right, so movies I watched. First night, this one. Then I jumped from that Richard Gere vehicle to another Richard Gere vehicle called the Jackal. Now, the Jackal, another movie that was a really good idea. All right, so the Jackal, Bruce Willis is a hitman that no one's ever seen. He's that good. He's never been caught. No one knows what he looks like. No one knows his real name. And you know what? I gotta say, for Bruce Willis, it's probably some of the best character work he's ever done. Because I don't know if a lot of people know, Bruce Willis started on a TV show called Moonlight, something like that. I think it had like 5 seasons. It was a comedy. And that's how people knew Bruce Willis up until Die Hard, when they were like, oh man, this guy can be an action star. And then, he exploded. They did the whole Planet Hollywood thing. Him, Stallone, Schwarzenegger, they were like the 3 action stars of the 90s. But Bruce Willis playing this contract killer, hitman, he's being different characters, different identities. He's using different accents. He's playing different types. And for that reason alone, it's definitely a lot of fun to watch. All right. Why hasn't Zoom stock rocketed? Is it undervalued? All right. Looks like Matt Ham wants to talk about stocks. Matt Ham, that guy's got good stock tips, I have to say. He hopefully in this climate, there's a chance for a lot of money to be made if you invest in the right stuff. Should you invest in, I don't know, what is Zoom's, what is their stock number, or what are their letters? I'm going to have to look into that. Maybe they'll be worth investing, or maybe not. I know that it freezes sometimes, and I can say Google Duo on my show, as far as I know, has never frozen. So if Google Duo doesn't freeze, but are you going to buy Alphabet stock? I'm not going to touch expensive stocks like that. I don't see a need. All right. I went from the Jackal to Twins. Yes, Twins. The Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger, powerhouse 1988 film of Twins. Oh man, if you haven't seen this, this is gold. The charisma between those two actors at that time was amazing. A great film. I used to watch it with my grandmother, and it brings back such great memories for me. I wanted to show her in, and we got through it. We breezed right through it. She loved it. Check that one out if you have the time. They tried to resurrect that chemistry in Junior with Schwarzenegger and DeVito, and no, don't. Schwarzenegger is a man who gets pregnant somehow. The science is iffy. Jury's out on that science. But not one that I would watch. All right, Twins. Okay. I got to tell you something. We've recently had a new hire here at The Michael Show with Michael DePrima. I hired a chief marketing officer. His name is Tim Dangler. He's one of my best friends from work. Got to tell you, this guy is a go-getter. He goes out, he finds sponsors, and he picked one up. He picked a sponsor up for us. So I've got to get that ad, and I've got to read it because, hey, they're the sponsor. That's my job to make money. All right, let's do this. All right. Today's show brought to you by Reginald Bippy's Wild Turkey Roasters. The Bippy Roasters are wild farm raised on Reginald's 32-acre Pocono Mountains estate just north of Fiddletown, PA. The Bippy family has been raising the finest in bird delicacies since 1972. See and taste for yourself why everyone's talking about Bippies. Senior discounts available. Buy 1 pack of giblets, get 1 free. Purchase any size turkey neck and receive a free candy necklace for the kiddies. Everyone loves a good Bippy. Fly high with one of our free-range roasters from Bippy Farms. Remember, folks, if it ain't Bippy's, it ain't Jack. All right. Thank you, Bippy's Roasters. We appreciate that. We appreciate you sponsoring the show. And I'll take all the turkey necks you can get. I'll take them. I'll take them. If you want to pay me only in turkey necks, I'm good for it. All right. So Reginald Bippy's Wild Turkey Roasters. Check them out. Okay. Moving on. Now we're going to go to what the show is actually about. Vinyl Dreams. So when it comes to vinyl, I know vinyl is having a huge resurgence right now, but most of it is manufactured in China, and it's actually manufactured in Wuhan, China. And right now they're kind of out of business for the time being. So I know I ordered a vinyl several months ago that said they were going to take a few weeks, and I still haven't got it because they're not producing vinyl. So why not check out your local vinyl stores? See, I know in Summit, there's Scotty's, there's Princeton Record Exchange, and there used to be one in the Peaburg Mall called Spin Me Round Records, but they've moved to, I think, the Easton Mall. So check out Spin Me Round Records. That's actually where I find all my deals. I love Spin Me Around Records, and I'm going to show you some stuff that I found at Spin Me Around, a lot of it. All right, so when it comes to vinyl, I'm a soundtrack guy. I don't have many bands catalogs on vinyl. It's, I love albums, but I don't love that kind of stuff. I'm auditory and visual. I see the video when I hear the audio. So for me, I'm all about soundtracks. I have over 120 vinyl soundtracks, and I'm going to show you some of my top picks right now. And most of these, a lot of them at least, you can find very cheap at your local record store. So definitely, if you are into vinyl or if you're into music in general, get yourself a record player. Audio-Technica makes some awesome ones that are very, very reasonably priced. And my first record that I will show you is, the Back to the Future soundtrack. There you go. This one is awesome. You can see there, I picked this up used for $16.99 at Spin Me Round. I think you can see the Spin Me Round right there. When I saw it, I had to have it. It's got great tracks. It's got a lot of the score, but it's also got some Huey Lewis in the News. So, of course, The Power of Love, that kicks you off. You play this vinyl, the first thing you hear is The Power of Love. And that's a great way to start anything. And the last track on side A is Back in Time, which I think are the two best Huey Lewis songs on this album. And they're also the only two Huey Lewis songs in this. And so anyway, also they have the version of Johnny Be Good and performed by Marty McFly with the Starlighters. It doesn't even actually say who sang the song, which was not Michael J. Fox. I'm sure Fiedler knows the guy's name, but I do not. Oh, we're getting comments in. All right, so Back to the Future, definitely one to pick up, definitely one to check out. You can probably find it for under $15. This was a really good copy, so I found that. All right, let's go to questions real quick. Eugene Slivjack, that guy's a clown. I think he's talking about me. Slivjack, do they sell gizzards? Thank you, Eugene. Thank you for that question. Yes, they sell gizzards. They sell we're talking about Reginald's. They sell the hearts. It's all the giblets. You got everything you could want in a roaster. So go into that. Ham says, please Skype Dangler in. Well, all right, maybe we'll have to have Dangler in sometime soon. I don't know. Maybe I don't do every other day. Maybe I do a Tuesday show. I don't know. It all depends on Dangler. But right now, look towards Wednesday when we have Liam Carroll. All right. Next. I have a lot of Batman albums, but this is just Prince. This is a single Record Store Day exclusive. This is just Party Man. This is just his version. So pretty much Warner Brothers asked Prince if he would do songs for Batman. Like, oh, Prince, would you do a song? Like, would you consider recording a track? And Prince was like, oh yeah, I'll think about it. They didn't talk to Tim Burton about this. Never consulted him. They just asked Prince. Then they asked Prince. Prince came back. He's like, oh, here. And he gave him an album full of songs about Batman. I don't think Prince knows a single thing about Batman. But they were like, oh yeah, it's Batman and the Joker. And he just like wrote a whole album. You can buy that Prince album of just songs. They don't even appear in the movie. Not even there. Unbelievable. So Tim Burton wanted his movies, he's big orchestra, Danny Elfman. He wanted his movies to be like timeless and just have a track to them, a score. But Warner Brothers made the call and they had to put some of those songs in. So Tim Burton placed them strategically. He had Joker use them for Party Man and Trust during the balloon scene. He stole my balloons. Why didn't anyone tell me he had one of those things? Yeah, so Party Man. It's a good one. Definitely a winner. All right. This one, the movie, people might like the movie. It was a pretty decent flick, but the soundtrack alone is awesome. And I'm talking about none other than The Big Chill. You can find this vinyl for probably less than $4. This one is not expensive. It was huge. Everyone had it. I heard it through the Marvin Gaye, My Girl, The Temptations, Good Love and the Rascals, Joy to the World, Three Dog Night, Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, Aretha Franklin, I Second That Emotion, Tell Him, The Exciters. I mean, that's an awesome dinner record. Throw that record on while you're cooking dinner, making dinner, eating dinner, whenever you want. That is a great soundtrack. So that's a cheap one. If you're just starting your collection, definitely check that one out. It's excellent. Johnny Walker Black. I'm a Johnny Walker Black man tonight. Oh, that didn't sound right. Didn't say that. We're going to move on from that. All right. Boogie Nights. If you like 70s music, if you're into, if you like the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack, and that sold millions, I think that soundtrack definitely went platinum. This is a soundtrack for you. This is excellent. It's got stuff you might not know. It's got, actually, this has the Marvin Gaye song, Gotta Give It Up, Part 1. So Gotta Give It Up was the song that Robin Thicke and Pharrell got sued for basically stealing blurred lines from Gotta Give It Up. Go YouTube Gotta Give It Up by Marvin Gaye, and you're going to be like, oh man, yeah, that's blurred lines. Definitely check out this soundtrack. It's got some classics. It's got some that are so good that I'm surprised I never heard until this album. This movie is an amazing film. My favorite on here, there are some in the movie that are not on this soundtrack, like Jesse's Girl is not on this vinyl. I think they just didn't want to pay for those rights because it's such a popular song. But Spill the Wine. That's an amazing track. I love it. All right, moving on. We've got the Dumb and Dumber soundtrack. Now, for most people, like this probably doesn't have that much staying power, right? It means a lot to me because, like I said, auditory, visual. When I hear songs, I think of the movies, I think of the good times. And when I hear some of these songs, Yeah. Ballad of Peter Pumpkinhead, Crash Test Dummy. Yeah. Really, really good stuff. That's what it makes me think of. So yeah, probably not one you're going to pick up, but one that meant a lot to me. All right. Now we're getting into it. Now we're going to, we'll do a little trivia. This soundtrack was the first soundtrack to take already produced music, like popular music, and put it into a movie. 5 seconds. What was that? What was that movie? I'll let you guess. What was that movie? Popular songs used in the soundtrack. That movie was Easy Rider. First movie to do that. Take already produced music that wasn't produced specifically for the film, use it throughout the whole film. Bunch of Steppenwolf on here, the Byrds, Jimi Hendrix. I mean, this is awesome. This you can probably get pretty cheap, probably under $10 in a pretty decent copy. So I would check that out. Definitely. And if you haven't seen the movie, oh man, please see it. It's pretty much about how the hippies lost their chance for a hippie world. That's what it's about. All right, let's move to some, all right. Do you like direct or belt-driven turntables? Oh, Jerry, that's why I got to get you on here. I don't know enough about that. I'll tell you, I like tube amps. I'll tell you that right now. I like tube amps. I bought one myself, but it was a cheap Amazon one. Not worth it. Returned it. But I got a solid state amplifier, and that worked for a while. But we can get into that on another show. Okay. Dude, that Prince Batman LP rules. Yeah, that Prince Batman LP is awesome. For what Prince did. Doesn't fit the movie so well, but it's pretty good. Oh, barbecue. Actually, I have some rare Jane's Addiction. Yeah. Is that Moomin? Oh, the Moomin. Ooh, the Moomin. Let's get the Moomin in here. Ooh, that guy. That's the Moomin. All right. So, the Big Chill. The Big Chill. I get that from the lady every night. Ooh, something sickly. Have you opened these records? Yes, these records, they're open. I just keep them in this sleeve and I keep the plastic on them because I have a sick problem. I don't know. It's an investment? No, it's the stupidest thing I've ever said. But yeah, I've opened them, I've listened to them, and they're excellent. Moving on. We touched on a little Danny Elfman. We mentioned him. But other than Batman, Danny Elfman's Batman score is amazing. But I'm going to talk about right now my second favorite Danny Elfman score, Edward Scissorhands. I love this score so much that it was my Ice Dance was my ringtone all throughout college. My college ringtone was Danny Elfman's Ice Dance. If you don't know it, look it up. It's worth knowing. It's pretty excellent. That's Winona Ryder's dancing as in Florida as Edward Scissorhands is cutting the ice, and that's why it snows here. Yeah. Oh man, Winona. That Winona in that movie. That's my Winona. That's why I'm Winona forever. That's my Winona. Some people might say their Winona was someone else. Winona and Mr. Deeds look pretty good, but that's not Winona. I guess some people think Heather's Winona is their Winona. No, I'm sorry. You're wrong. Edward Scissorhands' Winona is my wino forever. All right. Favorite soundtrack without much thought. TMNT singles. Does that mean Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles singles? Because I have a Ninja Turtles album. All right, moving on. We talked about songs of the 60s with Easy Rider. Now we're moving to the 90s. 30 years later, boom, Empire Records. gosh, if you have not seen this movie and you're a 90s kid, you have to get on that. This movie is, all right, well, it's about working at a record store in New Jersey in the 90s. Like, if that isn't everything about my childhood, I don't know what is. Now, I didn't work in a record store, but I know that based on that character, I used to sew patches onto my jeans because I was that guy. Why not sew patches onto your jeans when you live in Belgium? Everyone's going to judge me anyway. Might as well sew patches on my jeans. All right. So this is awesome. This has got, it's got some gin blossoms, some good gin blossoms. It's got the cranberry. You know, the one, it doesn't have a lot. Another one where they didn't put everything that was on the soundtrack on there. It doesn't have Say No More, Mona More by Rex Manning. It does not, which to me was the reason I held out buying this for like 3 years, because I was like, oh, maybe they'll release one with Say No More and Mona More. They didn't. They're not going to. So I bought this one. All right, moving from the 90s, we're going to go back to the 80s. I'm doing these in alphabetical order. Maybe next time I should structure them based on actual time. Anyway, all right. Now I gotta cut loose, Footloose. Yeah. What is there to say? What is there to say about Footloose? I still songs from this on my everyday playlist. It is awesome. So good, they made a musical out of these songs. Not all of them, but most of them. And I have to say, I mean, all right, when you're talking Kenny Loggins, you're talking about The Danger Zone, right? You're talking about Footloose. But for me, the best track on this album is I Need a Hero. Bonnie Tyler holding out for a hero always jacks me up in a good, like, I'm like, oh yeah, Bonnie Tyler. This album will pump you up. Get into it. This one sold tons of copies. You can get this real cheap. Real cheap. Find that album. Moving even back further. This is the last one that I have tonight. This changed movie soundtracks, I would say, forever. And this is just my opinion. People could completely disagree with me. But what do you think it is? Boom! The Graduate, Simon and Garfunkel. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't really, what is there to say? I mean, you got Sounds of Silence to kick it off. Side 1, track 1, Sounds of Silence. Then you move into some other stuff. Then you see Mrs. Robinson, of course. Scarborough Fair. Oh, man. Great album. Great album. So, yeah, I only did my soundtracks from A to G. I have other ones. When I'm hurting for content or a guest bails, I will do more of this if you liked it. If you liked it. If you didn't like it, why am I going to do this again? Why am I even doing this? Is it gratuitous? Is this for myself? Probably. Probably I'm doing this because I enjoy it. Probably I'm 6 people watching. Probably if there were 2 people watching. Probably if it was just me, I'd do this for myself. I can't even monetize this. You can't monetize YouTube until you have 1,000 subscribers. I think I have like 20. So that ain't happening anytime soon. All right, let's go to some questions. What do we got here? Heather's ham. Yeah, I know. In Heather's, I know. She's a great Winona. She's your Winona. That's not my Winona. My Winona is Edward Scissorhands. It will always be. Jerry Shortle says The Breakfast Club. Yeah, The Breakfast Club is a great vinyl. I don't have it yet. I haven't found one in good enough condition for me to buy. and they're not always the cheapest. It depends. It depends. Footloose album would make a great belated birthday vinyl for someone's father-in-law. Just saying. That was my father-in-law. And you know what? Ooh, I think I have an extra copy for you, Papa Jerry, for you. Happy birthday. It was his birthday the other day. Happy birthday, Gerard Altanji. I love you, man. Thank you for watching the show. I appreciate it. And thank you for commenting. You're one of the... Oh, it just dropped to 5. I only have 5 viewers now. That's all right. Maybe by the time it actually hits the web, I'll have 4. Maybe I'll have none. Maybe I'll have none. What am I going to do then? I don't know. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for being here. All 5 of you. Thank you so much. You know, I hope it's bringing some joy to folks. You know, if not, I'll stop. But I will see you Wednesday. And you know, I want to tell you one more thing. Wednesday we got Liam Carroll, and that's going to be awesome. This dude's got some stories. He knows his stuff when it comes to film. He's just a plethora of information, and he knows a ton of great bands. And he's probably going to tell you like his favorite albums from last year, his favorite films from last year. If you're stuck in quarantine and you're looking for something to do, Liam is going to give you things to listen to and things to watch. So it's definitely going to be an awesome show. Please tune in Wednesday for Liam. Friday, like I said, we're going to do Tiger King. We're going to talk about it. It'll be another virtual happy hour 2.0. Please tune in for that. And then the following Monday, my brother, John DePrima, is going to be on. And we're going to talk about mob movies. We're going to talk about The Family. We're going to talk about everything from Godfather to Goodfellas to Irishman to Donnie Brasco. We're going to talk about everything. And while I'm here, I just want to wish a happy birthday to my godfather, Paul Mamary. It's his birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Uncle Paul, my godfather. I appreciate all that you've done for me and everything you've taught me as I've grown up to this 31, almost 32-year-old man. All right. Beetlejuice Winona, last thing. Oh, Clockwork Orange soundtrack from Shortle. Yeah, Clockwork Orange soundtrack. High Fidelity. Yes, High Fidelity, but it's too overdone. Everyone talk like High Fidelity. Yeah, it's a movie about playlists. It's a movie about... I get it. Yeah, I get it. Maybe I'll get it. I don't know. All right. Beetlejuice Winona. Beetlejuice Winona is a decent Winona. She's a decent Winona. She's not my Winona. She's not. She's not. Although I do love that name, Lydia. I love the name Lydia. All right. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you had a good time. We'll be back Wednesday. Definitely not a show to miss. Liam's going to have some great stuff. God bless. Stay safe. And we will see you very, very soon. Take care, guys.